In this week's video, I am back in California spending time with family over Thanksgiving for possibly the last time. Why? Stick around and find out. So, I am currently filming in Southern California over Thanksgiving weekend. We are out visiting my in-laws and saying goodbye to California for possibly the very last time. You see, my in-laws are about to become one of the hundreds of thousands of people fleeing California seeking refuge in another state. And no, unfortunately my in-laws won't be joining us in Wyoming, but they are moving to a place much more affordable than California. So, as we are saying goodbye to them, I'm reminded of the many reasons why we chose to leave the Golden State for the Cowboy State. Alright, number one, the high cost of living. Being here visiting, of course, we are enjoying eating out at some of our favorite restaurants and enjoying a little bit of retail therapy. But when the receipt comes, I am instantly reminded of how absurd California taxes are. Between the sales tax, gas tax, state income tax, and property taxes, it feels like a miracle that our family was able to live in California for as long as we did. Sales tax in Los Angeles is over 9.5%, and there is a 77-cent gas tax per gallon. When I compare this to Casper's 5% sales tax and 24-cent per gallon gas tax, plus no state income tax, I am itching to get back home where my wallet isn't being price gouged constantly. Alright, the second thing that I will not miss about living in California is the traffic. Can you believe that my husband and I, when we lived in Southern California, we both commuted at one point, and my commute was over an hour one way to go 45 miles. My husband's commute was even worse though. His commute was 47 miles, but would take an hour getting there in the morning and over 2 hours coming home, and that's mainly because his commute was on the 405 freeway. If you know, you know. It was so ridiculous that my husband would even sometimes choose to stay even later at work just to avoid being stuck in that stop-and-go traffic on the 405. I kid you not. That is exactly how my husband would operate sometimes because the traffic was just so bad, and I will certainly not miss it. Alright, the third thing that I will not miss about living in California are the people. Living in Casper has totally spoiled me on expectations when dealing with people in public and just everyday living. Not only does Casper have a moderate population of just over 58,000, the people in Casper are genuine, hardworking, and kind. People in Casper wave hi to you, stop and help you if you're pulled over along the side of the road, and they certainly look you in the eye when you're having a conversation with them. Since being back in SoCal, my smiles and waves have been mostly ignored. I've been honked at for not accelerating fast enough when a light turns green, and I've even been shown the bird. Yep, that's just living in California for you. California is fast living with your head down and elbows up. In Casper, though, it's entirely possible to bump into somebody at the grocery store and strike up a 15-minute conversation in the aisle. While not always convenient, I absolutely love how involved and concerned everyone is in Casper. Alright, the fourth thing that I'm not going to miss about living in California is the homeless population. This may be controversial, but due to California's obvious mismanagement of so many things, the homeless population has exploded and is literally everywhere. In the few days we've been here, I saw a homeless person in our old hometown defecating on the sidewalk. This would have been shocking to see just a few years ago. Where we lived in Southern California, we never saw homeless folks on the sidewalks or even defecating or tents. But now, this is just a common everyday occurrence living in Southern California. It's even so bad that when political figures or dignitaries come into town, California is cleaning up the homeless situation to try to hide just how bad it is. So, I'm not going to miss that. Alright, the fifth thing that I'm not going to miss about living in Southern California is the political environment. California, unfortunately, is a hotbox for political tension. There is most definitely a predominant ideology, and any opposition is quickly silenced. California preaches tolerance, but not all tolerance is created equal. Between growing restrictions on law enforcement, the homeless population, looting, and rising crime, everyone in California has an opinion on why this has been allowed to happen and how to fix it. But the unfortunate truth is, these problems just seem to continue to worsen over time with more state government intervention. All right, the sixth and final thing that I don't miss about living in California are the wildfires. In my previous life, living in California, I worked in the utility sector. We were always tackling grid hardening to prevent wildfires. Fire season used to be August through November, and it quickly turned into an everyday risk. Of course, there are many debates as to the cause of the uptick in wildfires, and some say it's due to the overprotection of the forests and regulations. Others argue it's due to climate change. But regardless of the reasons, wildfires continue to pick up in California, and it is the cause of insurance companies pulling out, and those remaining are increasing the insurance premiums for homeowners living in California, just contributing further to the affordability crisis here. So, with that said, if you are ready to trade in the Golden State for the Cowboy State, I would love to help you relocate. Please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me. I would love to help you make your next move. I'm here for you, and we will see you in the next one.